Hello, everybody. My name is Peter Murphy. I'm the Early School Leavers Transition Program Coordinator here at Joliet Junior College, and we're excited to bring you some updates for the new school year and get into some information about the program. Before we begin, our director, Maggie Wolf, would like to share some words with you.
Hi everyone, I'm Maggie Wolf. I'm the Director of Adult Education here at Joliet Junior College. I would like to thank you all for continuing to trust us with your students and for being a pivotal part of the Early School Leaver Transition Program. The responsibility given to us when you send a student is not taken lightly, and we use all tools available to us to give them the best chance of success possible. We are grateful for our successes with students, and we will always work to innovate to provide the best high school credit recovery program that we can.
Thank you so much for that, Director Wolf. We're going to jump into some things about the program here. So for those of you who are new, who have never heard of the Early Leavers program, if you managed to get a hold of this video, we're a program offered to students age 16 to 24 who have 5 or less credits left to earn their high school diploma. Those students can have their paperwork sent to us, and we work through with them to finish those credits up, send that information back to the home high school so those students can earn their diploma from that home high school. They also gain employability skills, and we also help them transition into post-secondary education or a career field that interests them. And as you can see here, your high school may very well be on here. These are our local partners that we work with. So fiscal year 2023 in the books. These are some pictures from our graduation, many ESLTP students walking across the stage at Joliet Junior College. A full graduation. There's our president, Dr. Namoa, up there, and our director, Maggie Wolf, giving some remarks to students. And on the right side, you can see a bunch of happy faces, happy they got their high school degree. So in fiscal year 23, we graduated 51 students in the Early School Leavers Transition Program. We separated 25 students. So those are students who, due to inactivity, couldn't complete the program. Worth mentioning, those students have another opportunity to finish their degree with us. We give students 2 chances in the Early School Leavers Transition Program, as long as they still meet the guidelines. When a student does return to us after some time, I may email some of the counselors just to make sure that that joint agreement is still good before the student continues on through the program. We currently have 66 students in the program right now. Each of you will receive an individual breakdown of how your students did in fiscal year 23, as well as how many current students your institution has with us now. And that will be included on the email that has this video in it. Um, ESLTP students are, always receiving services from Joliet Junior College. There's 100 I can name, disability services, so on and so forth. But these were some ones that I really wanted to highlight that students have really been taking advantage of. A newer one for us is the Entrepreneurial Business Center. Our students who have small businesses get support from Joliet Junior College. It's really amazing. I've heard from those meetings that they sit down with all the numbers, they help with marketing. So we've had a couple of students go through that new Entrepreneurial Business Center. Also, across the hall, we work with workforce development for the Connect to Your Future grant. I know that perhaps you've seen the Connect to Your Future people around. This provides funding for students' education up to $10,000 a year in an in-demand job field. And it's a really great opportunity for students. And here at the ESLTP, we try to take advantage of it as much as possible. We also have students using JJC tutoring a lot, which is super flexible. They can do it online, they can do it in person, they can do it at different times. So those are really the new and exciting support services that our students in the early leavers are getting. Go to the next slide. New credit attainment policy. So this is the only real big change or update that we wanted to make everyone aware of. It's, our students, we want to make sure that they are continuing on to their next career steps or their next education steps. So in an effort to complete this goal, we have decided to implement a credit attainment policy for students. So essentially this policy, every quarter, a student is going to be expected to at least complete 0.5 credits. If they are unable to do so, they will be placed on academic watch for that next quarter. So let's say they miss getting a credit in the first quarter, we put them on academic watch. We have been developing a lot of intervention strategies with students, some time management meetings, some SMART goal setting that have proved to be successful. So we're formalizing that process here. Students on academic watch who continue to not hand in work will receive their first separation. Now they can try the program again, but that will be their second and last time to attempt the program. So again, a lot of these things are things we've been doing, but we are formalizing these processes in a policy for our students. So, most of our students would not be in on academic watch. I've been running the numbers to see, like, well, what if this policy was in effect today? 75% of our students are moving through their credits as quickly as possible and, no problems at all. 25%, I would say, are having some issues, making sure that every single week they're handing in work, every single quarter they're getting work in. So this policy is just to formalize those intervention strategies that we do with those students. Next slide. Process for enrolling new students. I'm sure many of you have maybe received this same exact spiel I have in an email I sent to you, but I thought I could talk a little bit about why each of these are important. So the joint agreement is one of the most important documents we'll receive. It goes over the credits that students need to do. In that, they will list out, I need a semester of algebra. I need the second semester of algebra. So it's a really important document. Almost all of them we receive are filled out correctly. So we thank you for that. Page 2 is a newer addition to that. It was introduced last year in our last August update. Page 2 is really what our ideal for it is, that it's an opportunity for you to speak with the student about the program. So if you've seen the sheet, it has a bunch of initials, places. I'll include the sheet as well in this email, but essentially the student is initialing next to all program requirements. That includes 2 transition meetings with me or Michelle Lyman. That includes their job skills class, which are really important components of the early leavers. So making sure all parties involved, parents, counselors, students, all know what is expected of students once they get into the early school leavers program. Number 3 is the students' transcripts. These serve as a backup reference to the joint agreement. I actually use them quite a bit just to see, making sure, like, if it lists electives in the joint agreement, making sure we're not giving the student the same elective twice that they've already earned in high school. There's tons of paperwork involved. So having that transcript as a backup is extremely helpful. Number 4, we do require an official withdrawal letter written on school letterhead, which includes the student's name, date of birth, and withdrawal. We are an Illinois Community College Board funded program for adult education. All that to say that to provide services to students, we need to have an official withdrawal letter. That's in our grant guidelines. We absolutely need to have it to give services to a student. So that's a requirement from the state. And I'd like to thank everybody for making sure all this paperwork gets to us in order. It almost always does. And we really appreciate the time you take with students to make sure they understand the program, and so on and so forth. So again, if you're exploring this option with a student, always feel free to give them my phone number, my contact info. I talk to parents and students multiple times every week. I can tell them a realistic picture of the program, and I really enjoy speaking with students, making sure they know what's expected of them and getting to know them before they make any official decisions. So why the ESLTP? I just wanted to point out a couple of things that I think we do well in the program and why you should trust your students with us. So number 1 and 2 kind of go together, and that is transition services and job skills training. So when you send a student to us, we are, going to give them their academic classes. They will be working through their credits to receive that high school diploma. But more importantly is making sure those students have a plan for day 1 after they get that high school diploma. It can be very daunting to a student who maybe hasn't had some success academically in the past. It's like, well, now I got this degree, what am I going to do? A lot of our students are already working in jobs that are entry level jobs that don't require experience. So they meet with a transition specialist or myself 2 times before they leave the program. And we really get into the weeds with the students. We discuss things like, well, what jobs are you interested in? We assign them assignments like you should go visit a union hall, or, you should go to the entrepreneurial business center. So these transition services and job skills training are really focused at making sure that student has a plan, or even action steps. Sometimes in transition services the final assignment will be to sign up for Joliet Junior College. So that's a really big emphasis in our program, and I think that's a skill that's important for students to have, that job skills training and that plan that they can have for the future. Emphasis on resume building. A big part of our program is work-based learning. So, we encourage students, get out there, even if it's an entry level job in a field you might be interested in. We had a student, if they want to be a dental hygienist, it's like, can you be a receptionist in a dental office? So we really push students to have a competitive resume. My mantra is, if you have some work experience in that field, even if it's entry level, and you get some education, you can really attack your job market and be very competitive to other people. Another one is we're very flexible with students. We have 66 students currently in the program, and I am the full-time early school leavers transition program coordinator. And I can tell you 90% of my jobs is just talking with students, giving them services they need, making sure they're on track. So you are giving your students to someone who has the resources and time to make sure, life happens with a lot of our students, as as counselors and school administrators. So making sure that we work with them and they always have a person to call if everything, kind of goes crazy for them. So, I work individually with each student. Every student's journey through the ESLTP can be different, and we can work with them. The final one is easy onboarding into Joliet Junior College. I work at Joliet Junior College. The students get a Joliet Junior College email. They get used to the campuses. And once they start, even after they graduate, so when I send that completion letter off, I still talk to I still have students every day like, oh, I'm having trouble with this. I'm having trouble with this. So when you give us a student, after they graduate, they get a person at Joliet Junior College who will always pick up the phone, who will always answer an email, who will always send an email on their behalf. So they really get a soft landing spot into Joliet Junior College. And that's one of the things that is one of my favorites to provide for students. It's like, hey, you're done with your degree now. Congratulations, come to graduation, all the success in the world. But if you do want to do some certificate training, either go for an associate's, I can help you. I can email people, and you have someone in the college system who will be an ally to you. Let's go to the next one. So those are the reasons why I think our program is good for students. We are doing a hybrid meeting. This is going to be, we'll have some stuff to present, also with some time to answer questions. We're doing that on October 16th from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Joliet Junior College City Center campus. That's at 235 North Chicago Street. We're doing it in room 6001, which is on the 6th floor. If you can't attend this meeting in person, I know it's a school day and schools are busy, but you can also attend via Zoom. So that Zoom link will be sent to you in the email that includes this video and some additional information. I'll include this PowerPoint as well. And just a chance for you to hear about a little bit more about our program. If you have questions, it's an excellent time to ask them. So just going over all of those things. Finally, we have our 2 contact points information. We have Maggie Wolf, our director, who I'm appreciative was able to join us today. And then we have myself, Peter Murphy. I am the full-time instructional coordinator for the Early School Leavers Transition Program. I have my email. I have my phone number. I talk to counselors every day. I talk to students every day. I talk to prospective students every day. I always say I'm always a phone call away. Always willing to talk with our high school partners, and anybody they send our way. So feel free to use me as a contact point. Use me liberally as a contact point. I enjoy hearing from our high school partners, and take advantage if you have any questions about the program. So That is all I have for you today. If you're able to make it to the meeting, I look forward to seeing you. If you attend virtually, I look forward to seeing you virtually as well. And again, we just want to thank you so much for trusting your students with us. Really, it's a responsibility that we take to heart. And, we just try to provide the best program we possibly can. Again, email us if you have any questions, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.